Hello YouTubers. Firstly I'd like to say a massive apology as I... Oh, here comes my coffee. Thank you. Now, I haven't done a video in 2 or 3 weeks. It is with an extremely heavy heart that we lost our Rottweiler. She was 6 years old. We didn't think there was anything wrong with her. It was a little bit of weight loss. Took her to the vets and she was in last stages of renal failure. So over the course of about 4 to 5 weeks, we went from not even realising there was a problem to actually having our 6-year-old put to sleep. So it's been a very, very, very hard time for us. In previous videos you can hear her snoring. She was always sort of led with me while I was doing my videos. So I have struggled to even come sit at my desk, because this is where my desk is, in the bedroom, which I'm now starting to feel a little bit better now. I didn't think I would, but it's slowly, very, very slowly, starting to feel better. So firstly I would like to say sorry. That's the first thing. Right, secondly, we're going to do a video today and we're going to make some of these. A little bit of a happier... Please do ignore my sponge, it's disgustingly bad. But these flowers, if you can see, are really lovely. I've been making some wreaths this year. I will have a look and show you how to make, or just show you how through my wreaths on what I've done. But these was one night I was sat looking, I wanted some different colours. Because the wreaths are obviously very red, green, gold, they're very Christmassy. And I wanted just something different, just to break up the colours. So I was sat messing about and then I came up with these. Now as you can see, they're very easy to make. You don't need anything special, just a daisy cutter. It was what I used. A little bit of 26 gauge brown wire, because it means I don't have to wrap anything. You could use green wire, that's up to you. This one's my favourite, if you can catch that in the light. You see the different colours that's changing. These have all been dusted. Some of them less than others because I wanted to catch the edges. But when they're actually in a pile together, in a group together, see how that looks really lovely, and you can get away with it. These blue ones I did blue balls as well, which work really, really good. I've got, if you can see in that one, can you see that sparkling? I don't know whether you'll be able to. It's got sparkle on it. Anyway, right, so let's start. Let me clear off my sponge, because those, put them over there. This one's actually transparent blue. I didn't even realise that's what I picked up when I bought it. Can you see how transparent that looks? It's really cool. Okay, right. Okay, I don't want to damage those. So, the first thing you're going to do is we're going to do ours in bright red today. There's me trying to say I want to change the colours of what we're doing. But, because I've got some, I'm going to just dust the edges with this. It's called Christmas Red. Just ordered, and that's come through. So we're going to have a go at using this little one today. So, first what you're going to do is cut yourself a length of 26 gauge wire. Around about that, if you want it a little bit thicker you can do. I kept mine thin so I could weave mine through a wreath. We use willow wreaths. You can get them off the internet for, I believe, £8.40 for the big ones and £4 for the smaller ones. Okay. Then you're just going to have 2 daisy cutters, one to one size, one the next size. A calyx cutter, and a pair of scissors. Oh, and obviously some glue. This is just liquid clay. Just pop it in the oven, and that's okay to use. That's quite good. Wires to cut your calipers to cut your wires. The wires I use come off of Amazon. They are rather large. But I just feel like by using brown wires, it just saves me time having to wrap them. which is a pet hate of mine. It's a very annoying job. So, right, just a little bit of a hack. Corn flour. Get an old stocking, tights, pop sock, whatever you've got. Pops them in, tie a knot, works great. You don't get too much, and it's really good. It goes easy enough once you've finished using it, and it doesn't make a mess. So that's one thing I would really, really, really recommend. If you're using corn flour, or icing sugar is another one's good for these. Anything powdery. Some people even use talc. You could use talc, you could put it in there and it would do the same job. Right, so the first thing we're going to do is cut out some wire. You're going to put a very small hook on the end and then a very small ball. Now normally I would bake this before I use it, but today I'm just going to see if we can go straight ahead and use it. The reason I bake it usually is because it holds it on. Then if you do any pulling on it, it doesn't pull it off. It sort of sticks like concrete. So they always are very good to bake it. Even just 1 or 2 minutes, it just gets it that little bit hard, so it doesn't come off quite so easily. Okay, so we're going to pop that to one side, and next we're going to cut our pieces. Now, the way we need to do it is we need 1 large one, 3 small ones, and 2 calyx. Now if you want them bigger, you're more than welcome to. You can add more, you can take them out if you want them smaller. That's the fun of these. It's really entirely up to you. So I'm just going to do that, and I've forgotten a rolling pin. There's always something, isn't there? Bear with me. Sorry about that, folks. Right. So today, like I say, we're going to do some red, and I've just noticed it's actually got a little bit of sparkle in that, if you can see it. So at some point I've mixed some white or something in with it that I put glitter in. I'm a big glitter fiend, so I do like it. Now these you want to make thin, but not ever so thin. You don't want it flopping about all over the place, but you don't want it so thick that you can't get it to do anything. So I've only rolled out a small piece to start with. I find it easier to use smaller pieces than larger. Oh, right, okay. So that to me, I think, is just a little bit more that way. So by doing it in small pieces, I'm going to have to do a couple of pieces, but that's okay. I'd rather take my time and get it right, so I find that it works. So the first one we're going to do is our big one. So just going to, you want a good clean cut. So there's that one. And then all I do is just take it off the side and pop it up here. So that's ready. I don't do anything else to it. I don't smooth it out or anything, because we're going to cut it with scissors. Okay, so we need 3 of these smaller ones. You probably could do with 4. My cutter doesn't work very well anymore. It's got very tired. There we go. So that's 1. Keep it nice and clean if you can. It's surprising actually how many you can get out of a very small piece. You look at and you think, well, it's very small, but 2. Just make sure you don't take out any of the others that you've already cut. Done that before. Still finding hair from Willow all over the place. Oh dear. Okay, and then just pop it out. So that's our 3 small ones. Now what we do want to do is make some spares. I'll tell you for why in a moment. That's actually quite thick. Okay, so just anywhere you can get maximum amount, so we get 2 out of that one. There you go. And then it doesn't really matter too much what happens to these ones. That's right, so I'm going to roll out just a little bit more now, just to do the 2 calyx. Then we're good to go. Like I say, it might be a bit thick, but we'll deal with that in a moment anyway. I think the thicker it is, the better. That sort of thickness, I think, is quite good. If you can see it, it's quite thick. Whereas if it goes a little bit on the thinner side, it's a little bit more harder to handle for what you want to do. So I can hear my dog eating something out there. Up to no good, no doubt. Okay, so make sure you can get sort of 2 on there. And push down, same scenario, push it down everywhere you can, each one. There we go, there's 1. And, ooh! Two. Okay, now I'm going to come back in and I'm going to get another couple of these ones if I can, just 3. I'll show you in a minute why they are so important. Okay. So just carefully take them up. I mean, the other thing with these as well is you don't really have to be overly cautiously careful with them. And because I don't sort of flatten them down or anything like that any further than what they already are, it's they're quite quick and easy to do. And I think they're lovely, they're really effective. Right, so now we have all our components. You can see that. Pop these things out of the way. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to build it. Okay, that's what we're going to do first. So starting with the big one, don't get mixed up with the calyxes because they're over here and we're going to put them on last. So starting with this one here, I'm going to use my finger just to wipe a bit because I don't want too much, otherwise it just becomes a bit of a sticky mess. Now I have used in the past PVA glue, but consequently what that does is before you dust it, or when you're just dusting it, it doesn't like it and the dust won't stick to where the PVA glue has been. So ideally you don't really want to use it if you can help it. I mean, if that's all you've got and you're quite happy, then you know, go for it. But if you want to dust inside, then PVA glue is not the way forward. Okay, so you're going to take one of your little ones and you're going to pop it in the middle like that into the gaps. Okay, and we're going to repeat the step again. You want a nice amount, but not too much. Otherwise it'll end up being a slippy mess and you don't want too slippy. Okay, so we're going to put this one on next. So you're going to put these ones in the middles of those last one. And you can move it about slightly if you want to, which is all good, like so. And you're going to put a bit more in the middle here. And again, you don't want it too sticky. Alright. And you're going to pop that one in the middles of those ones. Like so. It can be a bit of a sticky, fiddly bit, but you're alright, and if you carry on, you'll get it done. Then, with the end of a rolling pin, which this is probably large compared to what we probably need, but that's okay. You're going to place it in the middle and you're going to push down. Because what you want to do is make and create, see how that's starting to like come up in a flower so they're not all stuck together, each of them. And then you're going to get in your wire But first we're going to put some glue in there, nearly forgot. Because you want it to stick. Okay, and then we're going to pop that through the middle, like so. And you're going to bring it up. Gently push on it, so it sticks. I'm going to zoom you in a little bit. Like so. And then you're going to start squeezing. So, I pop mine into the foam, so it holds it. And then I squeeze mine up like this. It looks very brutal, but don't panic. And then literally just going to go round, making sure it's nicely squeezed together, like so. Okay. Don't cut this bottom off. You'll be tempted to, but don't do it. Because once you cut this off, you are probably got the flower will only sit at the top there and it will wobble around. Okay. Because don't forget we've got the calyx ones to put on yet. So then you're going to, ooh, scratch my leg, go round and just separate them. So hold on to it. And I've got a dog hair on there. And separate them. Pushing some of them down. It's okay to, if you can see that. Just take your time. Just kind of pull them down and separate them. Some of them won't want to, that's okay, don't force them. And I think that looks pretty good so far. Now with your scissors, you're going to go along. Right, I'm going to zoom you quite low for this one. Okay, you're going to go along and you're going to cut each one twice. 3 times if you don't like the shape that's left. Okay, and each one, like so, I'm going to cut. And then you're going to turn it, you're going to find each one slowly and like just relax. This is an easy flower. You could use it as a filler flower, I suppose, if you was doing bouquets, things like that. And it is very easy and it's very pretty. I think it's a very simplistic but effective flower. Okay. So just relax. If there's bits you don't like the look of, snip them again if you want to. If a bit comes off, don't worry about it. And just go round, cutting each one. You like to say, you can cut it more than twice if you want to. I don't like sometimes the bits that get left behind. The shapes, so that's up to you. You can cut them head on, you can cut them to the side. It's really what it is you think about that you like. Okay. And see how that's starting to change now from going like a bulbous leafed flower, petaled flower, because it's quite thick. It goes very quickly into something different. Very quickly. It kind of goes a little bit more feminine, thinner petals. It gets, whether it's an illusion of the petal, I don't know. But if you've got a bit stuck together, just cut it best you can. You can cut 2 together if they're stuck together like that. Perfect. Okay, go around, check you haven't forgotten any. Make sure you haven't missed any. You can hold them upside down. Check you like the shapes. Okay, I'm happy. Okay, now the first thing I'm going to do is just make this nicer at the bottom. So just a bit of a point. Like so. Okay. I don't know whether you could see me then on film. So sorry people if you couldn't see me and I went off screen. Right, see how this one's hanging down here? I don't actually like it very much like that. I'm just going to nip the ends off. There we go. I've got a couple like it. Like so. Okay, so don't be put off if you've got some hanging down, some going the wrong way, some that you're not happy with. Just trim them, or just move them. If they won't move, cut them, and then they'll be alright. Okay, right. Now those extra ones I cut earlier on with you, these ones, let me zoom out a little bit. We didn't cut them from being loopy, we cut them because we're going to use those to fill the middle in. If you can see, ooh, the middle, you've got a gap. Now you could obviously leave it if you like the gap, that's absolutely fine. Or you could do what I like and I do. So just cut them off, the petals. And we'll do these ones as well because there's quite a large gap we're going to fill in. Okay, you're going to cut that one off. Okay, so let's scrap. And then what we're going to do, just like we did the flower just now, we're going to get it and we're going to cut it twice. Like so. Okay, we're going to do that to all of these. Okay. So it is worth cutting 3 or 4 because you probably use them. Sometimes you find that you can close it up a little bit tighter and you don't actually need to, but sometimes not so. Okay, there we go. So they're all cut just like we did with the leaves, petals. And what we're going to do in here is we're going to pop a little bit, just a little bit. And you're going to just move it around like so, and then you're just going to pick these up like so. Bear with me folks. I'm going to hold on to the ends because remember, it doesn't matter if it stretches slightly, it doesn't matter if you bend it or anything like that. And you're just going to look and you're just going to place it in there like so, and you're going to do that till they're all gone, all the gaps gone. Now obviously once it's in there you can push it down and do all that sort of thing with a pointy tool. I like to put a couple in and then push them down. Not that I have any control. There we go. Like so. And then I'm going to just pop another one in the middle, I think. Like so. Okay. Like that. Okay, so now you can see by putting those in the middle that you've lost that centre ball. So I'm really liking the way that is coming on, really liking it. So now we're going to put on our calyxes. Okay, and you can just go along with your tools, just moving it about, because once it goes in the oven and for, I think it's 110, I don't like that one, so we're just going to trim that one, trim that one off, look. 110 for 30 minutes. Obviously always carry and follow your manufacturer, clay manufacturers, what they suggest, because all different clays are different times. And there you go. So we're now going to finish it off. Now you wouldn't think, now I know you're thinking, well, why would you need to put the calyxes on the bottom? Well, let me show you, because I mean, as you can see, I'm very happy with what we've got there. But these calyxes are unbelievable. Right, now this bit I am going to use a smallish brush. if I can find one. You have to be careful with the air dry clay because sometimes it doesn't dry very well on the brush. It can be a little bit harder to wash out the brush than PVA glue. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is, because we want it around the bottom here, so we're going to paint this all around the bottom. Oh, for goodness sake. All around the bottom like so. And then we're going to put the calyxes on. But we'll do it one at a time. So squirt a little bit onto your tile like so. And then just turn it over and just brush it on. If you can see that. Just try and get up as high as you can. As high as you want to go, there's better words. I like to get mine as high as I can, stick underneath. Okay, so there's the first ones. Okay, so we're going to pop this first one on. Like so. Right, now we've got to try and get it over this bit here. So you've got to kind of tease it up. If it cracks or it splits or anything like that, don't worry. See, without pushing it off. So actually sometimes it's worth splitting it. Otherwise you'll end up pushing the entire flower off of this wire. Because I didn't bake it first, okay? So I'm making a bit of a pig's ear of this now. Okay, so we're going to put it up here, look. Okay. This bit can be quite fiddly, but it's better if you do it and put it in the oven. It's much better. Right, okay, there we go. Just sweep it down a little bit. Right, and I'm going to do the same with the other one. I'm going to actually cut it. Okay. I'm going to cut it there. So next I'm going to do the same thing again. Glue just up these, and it actually would help hold these ones together where we've cut it. Okay, so now we're going to wrap this one round and try and get the calyx, if you can, in the spaces. So if you can see what I mean, so they're not on top of each other. They're kind of spread out. There we go. Try and meet them up. Now, it doesn't matter too much what the bottom looks like, so don't panic about that. And then we're going to do the same again. Go along with your... That bit can be a bit fiddly, but don't worry. If you find, like mine, that now is kind of spinning, push it back in. Now, these ones, it doesn't matter too much if you squish them a little bit, like I've done there. If you can see that. This is how we recover these, it's okay. And then go along with your ball tool and just straighten it back out. Like so. Okay. Just take a few minutes, because I know you're probably thinking, oh my goodness, I've killed it. But actually, it's not. Because of the kind of flower that it is, it allows you to... You're very much in control with it. Just kind of tease it out. And then before long, before you even realise it, it'll all be back to how it was in no time at all. I do like this one, I really do. See? And then if any of the bits fall off, don't panic, it doesn't matter. Like so. Okay, and you can see it's starting to come back together now. Not all squished. Like so. Nice and simple, nice and simple, nice and slow. But don't throw it in the bin, because It will be fine. Just when you think there's no hope, it's you look at it and all of a sudden it's nice and straight, which is good. Like so. And we're back to where we were pretty much, and I'm happy with that. So what we're going to do now is going to go along and you're going to cut your calyx 2, 3 times, 4 times, up to you. Okay, and we're going to do, let me move that because it gives me a little bit of natural light. It's not natural, but like so. Like that. And just go along, all the way along. If you get bits that are dropped down, like I noticed I've actually got one, I'll show you how we deal with that in a minute. Very simple. There's one hidden just there, look at that little sucker. And a big one there, look. Okay, so this, what we're going to do is use the brush that we use the glue with and just run a little bead of glue around underneath. And then just gently push it up. Oh, and the same again here. Just get a little bit of glue on your brush. A little bit of glue. And push it up. You want to push it up at the base of the flower, of the petal, because you don't want the front bit to be stuck. The front is where you want it to be free and easy. So if you move it around and kind of mingle the pair together, then you won't notice a difference at all, like it being underneath there and having it as a one line's one and one line's another. It will stop that from happening. Now, I like to use the 2 different ones, and I like to do the calyx afterwards because it makes it easier to add it on afterwards. I know it didn't look like it, and it does take a little bit of practice, so do have fun with that bit. But it's a different shape, just slightly. And then, if you can see now, that really is, I'm really starting to like that one. Okay, and that's what you've now got, which I think is pretty cool. And it hangs down because the calyx is bigger and it's a different shape, it hangs down differently. See? Don't worry too much about the bottom because you can't see it when it's used anyway. So that's now finished, so we've now made that. So let's get rid of that glue before I put my arm in it, was what usually happens. Like so. Now, what I wanted to do and show you as well was just a little bit of dusting. So, just going to take a rounded brush. Now, because of the clay, I mean, you know that you can't dust cooked clay, but you can use an airbrush, which I can show you a few moves on the airbrush well, I'll do a video on that at some point. I'm not nowhere near an expert or anything like that, but I'm not too bad. Okay, so just go underneath, just check everything's all been cut, which to me it looks good. So now we want to just dust a little bit on there. So like I say, I'm using this new dust, if you can see it's sparkly. It's called Christmas Red. Oh, look at that. Now that is beautiful. Now what I want to try and do is just get the edges. That's all I want, is just the edges. So let's zoom you back in. And then we'll just have a little go and see how much we can get of the edges. So a little bit on my brush, don't want too much. Okay, and just go for the edges each time. Oh, I can't, ladies and gentlemen, I can't just go for edges. This is absolutely stunning. I think it was off Amazon for £2 something. £2.65 maybe? Something like that. Look at that, if you can see that. Wow! This has now just become my new favourite colour. I'm a sucker for a glitter. Look at that, isn't it gorgeous? I'm glad to do a video today, and it's kind of taken my mind off of it. Everything to do, a little bit. It's been a very, very hard time. I didn't think it was possible to... I knew I loved her, but I never dreamt it was anything like it is. It's been a really, really difficult time for myself and my husband. And yes, I've got a cold, but I'm not sure if it's where it's been. And I've just spent 2 weeks crying. We had her cremated, and she came home last night, but a little bit of... I was quite pleased that she did come home. I couldn't leave her down there. She's been cremated. I've spent 2 weeks pretty much in tears. It's been one of the hardest things in my life that I've had to deal with. And she was my best friend. My beautiful girl. I'm going to stop talking about her now, because otherwise it will just make me cry again. Oh, see how we lost one bit there? Doesn't matter. It's no big one. Low power. All these electrical things are all good for and everything, but can't get you in a pickle when they all run out of power. Right. I'm just muttering on here, down here. It's because I'm trying to fit in as much colour as I possibly can, because it is so amazing. Everything's going to be this sparkly colour now. I'm going to do something on the top of Willow's memorial box. I think we might make a video out of it when I do something like it. And then we'll go from there. Once this is finished and it's been baked, ladies and gentlemen, we use Rust Off top coat. We find it works very well, and it's waterproof. So our wreaths are going outside, so I will see. I haven't heard anything on whether they were allowed the water through, but as far as I know, they must be okay. Now that is absolutely beautiful. I'm sure you can appreciate. I'm going to do a little bit on the bottom, just on these bits here, just in case you can see the very edges, because you don't want somebody say, oh. So I just gently dust a little bit on, like so, and there we go. So let me put the lid on this before I knock it over, because I did with one brand new big bright red coloured round one. And it went all down my trousers and everything. It was a mess. A right proper pickle. A bit like my hands. But look how they glitter. Lovely. So I'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you to the subscribers I have. And the subscribers, if you're thinking about joining us, do so. And hit that subscribe button, because it means that you won't miss another video. I do appreciate all the subscribers that we've got, but would love it if more came on board. So do hit that like button, hit that, leave a comment, have a go, show me a picture. I'd love to see it. But this is basically what ours look like. And that's the one we've just done today. I was supposed to be doing it in different colour, but I think red stands out nice. And I wanted to use the new red, which I'm glad I did. So, like I say, there's the blue one. That's got... Right, let me move you out a little bit. So the blue one's got a little bit of glitter in. Just a little bit. And you can have some really good fun with these, because you can do them so many different colours, and you can do gold ones and all sorts, and you can really sort of group them together. Up until doing that one, This one was nice. Oh, just quickly while I think about it, when I put them in the oven, I always hang them, like so. Turn the top over and hang them. And then that's what gives them this really nice kind of, if you can see the way that sort of goes downwards. So when it's in the oven, it cooks downwards like that. Whereas at the moment, ours is, if you can see, it sort of droops down a little bit rather than up. If you can see that. We want it to go up. Or at least level out. So pop it in the oven like that. Unless, of course, you like it like that. And then you're more than welcome to do whatever it is you want. Like I say, these are very, very simple. Very easy to do. And they're a lot of fun. And you can really sort of do whatever it is you want to do with them. So, right, I'm going to go. So thank you for watching. If you wanted to use a thicker wire on them, you could. Sorry, I was just on my way off. So thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button and you'll not miss another film that I put on. Another video. Another video. And if I don't sort of see you until whenever you next sort of log on, have a good Christmas. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye.